Alright guys, so this is my confession why I sold my Ford Lightning. I want to start off with, it was a great truck, but it just wasn't right for me, so this is kind of how it goes. Alright, so I bought the truck last year about, I think it was August time frame. I was super excited. I wanted it 100%. How awesome is a Ford Lightning all-electric vehicle, right? It's all the rave. Okay. So it finally arrived. I think I ordered it actually a year before. So it must have been 2021. And then I received it 2022, August of 2022. I received it. It was great, just as you expected, a brand new vehicle. Everything about it, it had the big old display. It was brand new. It looked better than a regular F-150, right? Quick, very, very fast. I think the 0 to 60 is like 5.2 or 4.9, something very quick, right? It has excellent throttle response. One thing I did note is the top speed is 106 miles per hour. Which is, I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to go maybe at least 150. Not that I ever would, but it's nice to know that you can, right? The traction, it did slip on the tires. Even though it was all-wheel drive, it did slip, especially on any range in the battery, it still slipped, which is kind of cool knowing that it has a lot of torque. And it would just lift the vehicle and just, kind of spin. But it had traction control, so it could, catch the pavement and go. So everything was dandy. Sorry about the hoodie. It's a little chilly out here in San Diego. So everything was fine. It's all great. We do, however, have a Model Y. And that Model Y was the comparison, right? So we work off of the Tesla infrastructure, and we have no problem. Our range is about, I think it was 320 miles, and we have no problem whatsoever. When we go charge, pretty much done in 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And there's always availability, all right? More on this later. So long story short, Tesla has it squared away, okay? The range, everything about it is nice. There's no anxiety, nothing. All right. So I started noticing right away, and I don't like talking about negative things, right? But Electrify America, and there's a lot of brands out there. Essentially everybody, I'm not going to name the brands, right? But essentially everybody is working off of this thing. Now, Electrify America, and specifically talking about the Southern California and Southern Arizona region, right? Like the I-10 and the I-8. This is my experience, and I'm going to speak on behalf of my experience. Okay. 25% of the time, the chargers are working. 25% of the time. In some of these locations, there's only about 4 chargers. So if 25% of the time means one is working, that's exactly my experience. In the short 6 months that I had it. Now I put up with it. I know it's new. It's avant-garde, electric truck. Very cool to have, very prestigious, right? Whatever. I love the color, it was awesome, black, so I put up with it. But 25% of the time, the chargers are working. So this tacks on a few minutes to your journey, right? There were some problems in addition to that, right? So whenever that single charger's working, you might have people waiting for that charger. So tack on another few minutes. So let's say we're tacking on, 5 minutes every time. So now you're up 10 minutes, right? There's a line. Hopefully there's no line. some of the chargers don't really work. You know, you'll connect, it boots you off, oh my god. It was pretty bad. So they boot you on, boot you off. You gotta have the app. The app doesn't charge the card. Your card's not working on the device. So now you're like another 10 minutes down. So now you're looking at 20 minutes. And then when you square all that away, the app, the credit card information on the app, you trying to swipe before you charge. That's the ideal way, so you get the discount. You know, it's not much, but something. And then hopefully there's no one in line when that one charger's working. Then you have to put up with calling the Electrify America and trying to reboot the system. So what ends up happening is that you can't get that one charger to work, or the one charger that's being used that's working, you're trying to get the other ones to work. So now you're troubleshooting the entire system. And when you're on a time schedule, let's say you have appointments, you got to be somewhere, people are waiting on you, you're not going to wait around. You're going to have to move your appointments and stuff like that, right? So so all that, right? You're troubleshooting, now you're there for half an hour, and then you're charging, it's an hour essentially, right? So the straw that broke the camel's back was most recently. I was putting up with all of it, you know, I don't care, whatever. It's a cool truck, but what drew the line was I had to go to Tucson for my appointments, and I was supposed to be there Saturday. I took off early, like at 6 or whatever, and I was supposed to be there by 9. Well, I didn't get there till 6 p.m. in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, maybe it was a fluke, right? Because of the charging, it was just horrendous. And then I still had to stop like I think 4 or 5 times just to get to my destination in Tucson. And then once I'm there, I have to charge up again. It was miserable. So yeah, that. And then, so I thought it was a fluke, and I didn't have my trailer this time. So the first time I actually did the same amount of stops, like 4 or 5 stops. I was kind of surprised that I had to do the same amount of stops this time around. So I said, you know what? We'll gauge it on the way back. On the way back from Tucson to San Diego, was it San Diego? Yeah, I think it was San Diego. Or El Centro, I stopped like 4 or 5 times, the same exact thing. And I was really controlling the throttle. I was at 75 miles an hour. It was all flat. There's no mountainous terrain. And we weren't really, actually we did have the AC on, you know, because it was cold. So you have to have the AC on. Like, I'm not gonna rough it with my family in the truck. So I said, you know what? I can't do this no more. It's a great local truck. Like if you're gonna stay within the San Diego area, or if you're gonna stay within the Phoenix area, and you're not gonna go on long trips like, you know, once or twice a month, it's fine. But all that time that you spend charging, troubleshooting the charger, waiting in the line, bouncing around to get a charger that works, it really adds up time a lot. And when your time is worth a lot, not just to you, but to other people, you gotta be where you gotta be on time, before time. So it just wasn't working out anymore. And I'm upset with the charging company. So I sold it. You know, I wish I didn't. I wish I should have got the long range, but even then with the long range, I don't think it's worth like another $40,000 just to get 80 miles or 60 miles of range. It just didn't make any sense, value, right? So now I'm going over to the Model 3 Performance. I got the range. I should be fine with that vehicle, but we'll see. Most likely so it should be here in March. We'll see. Anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys, my experience. It's kind of bittersweet. You know, I'm a F-150 crew cab kind of guy. I've had a few in the past, and I keep going back to it. But as your needs change, you know, just kind of sifts, and then you're left with you know, what vehicle you truly need. I hope my experience is beneficial to you guys. You know, if you're in the market for this truck, please consider these items. Like I said, it's a great truck if you just keep it local. And if you're planning long trips, you know, maybe add another day to your trip. Maybe 2 days, right? Because get arriving and the way back. And, you know, Electrify America just doesn't compete with Tesla's infrastructure. It really doesn't. So that's all I got. Take care, guys.